Good afternoon, my lovers. I'm in my garden and people have been asking me for ages, will I do an update of all my epic relics that I've been discovering over the last few weeks. So I thought once a month I could do an absolutely epic update of all the relics that I found and go into details about how amazing that they are. So before I go off to the computer to show you what I've been finding, give us a thumbs up. If we can get up to 1,000 likes on this video, I'll do one at the end of next month. Woohoo! Look at that, look at that! That has got to be the best horse harness pendant I've ever found. You can see where it's hinged. There's a pin there, look, and it's rotted out on that side. So this would have swiveled. Wow. That's got to be 700 or 800 years old. Right, in the bag she goes for the fines liaison officer. Woohoo! Right, so here it is. Here's exactly the same one. I found it on the Portable Antiquities Schemes database. Dates from 13 to 1400. So it's a similar looking one. Yeah. And that's what it is. It's a horse harness pendant. Yeah, horse pendant. Now I'll show you a picture of what these pendants, where they would have been on the horse. So here's a picture, a medieval picture, an illuminated manuscript, and you can quite clearly see this horse. See this little thing hanging up here? That is where the horse harness pendant would have been situated. Now I did have someone in my comments ask, where does all these little rings come from? Well, I found a database that shows that these rings might be these, because we find that this whole decoration on this horse, its little jacket or whatever, is covered in little rings, look, and it's the same colour as these big brass rings here, look. So I'm guessing that the reason we find lots of these little rings is because they were on horses' bridles and saddles and stuff. There's loads of them in these pictures. I found this on the Portable Antiquities Schemes database, written by Helen Geek, about rings. If we scroll down, they are identical to some of these rings that we find, look. And down here, they may have been part of a horse harness. So like in that picture, there's those little rings that were adornment to the harness or the saddle, with these little rings that they, of course at the time, these were probably polished up nice and shiny, and these are exactly the same rings here, but this one has been made into a buckle, look. It's exactly the same type of ring. So I reckon that that's exactly what these rings are now for. So it's to do with decoration on the saddle and the harness. And here's another one, very similar, 12 to 1400. And here's another one very similar, 12 to 1300, this one. So it's a rough estimation of the date and how old these things are. Right, let's go and have a look at my next epic find. Oh, I have just found the find of the year, maybe. I was filling the old back in, and how about that for a crusty bit of pottery? Look at all the quartz inclusions. This bit here, this little tiny bit of red quartz, is transparent. I think this is Anglo-Saxon. This could be the find of the year. If this turns out to be Anglo-Saxon, it will be my first piece I've ever found. This could be a major discovery. There's all sorts of different coloured bits of quartz in there. There's another red bit there. Wow, I'm speechless. You never know what you're going to find. This looks like a piece of rock or a bit of cement that's come out of a wall, doesn't it? It looks just like a bit of cement. But this ain't. This is really ancient pot. Well, not ancient. You know, the Romans produced some lovely potsherds.
But this could be the find of my lifetime. Well, I'm exaggerating now, but I've never found Saxon pot before. Right, let's see what else we can find.
I've looked on the Portable Antiquities Scheme database and I found a very similar piece of Bronze Age pottery. So we're looking at very grainy stuff here. If I download this, wow, look how grainy that is. Let's see if we can see any tiny bits of quartz. What's that there? Zoom in a bit. That could be a tiny piece of red quartz. Gone in a bit farther, and little bits of quartz in there, rock from all over the place, different colours. It just looks as if someone has just shoveled some mud onto what those things they used to make pots with, a wheel. It's just shoveled some mud from the floor into onto a wheel and sort of shaped it into a pot. Did they even use wheels? Probably not. It's probably all hand sort of blobbed together. I think what they used to do is they used to roll it out into long strips, and then they would build up a vessel using the long strips, and then they would rub the clay into the gaps to make up a sort of makeshift vessel, and then fire it. So yeah, this is a very crusty piece of Bronze Age pottery, similar to my piece. Here are some other pictures of these side bits. I can't download it, unfortunately. Some big lumps in this one. Yeah, all the different little colours. So yeah, this is a pottery rim sherd. It's a rim sherd, how can you tell? Vessel, possibly an urn or large cooking vessel. Flat, slightly everted, whatever, rim. Reading is not one of my fortes. Undecorated with impressions of plant material. Really? Oh, I suppose that bit there might be something. Right, let's have a look at the date. 2150 BC. Where did they get the 50 from? Because it goes from 2150 to 800. How do they know it's 50, exactly 50 years? That just don't make much sense to me. And all the bits that I've found of these bits of pottery have all been found in Cornwall. They are Penzance, St Austell, Camborne. That sounds familiar. I think I might have been there. In fact, I've been to Land's End, Penzance. I might have been there, on holiday with my parents when I was a wee nipper. Right. So yeah, let's go and have another look at this piece here and compare it with my bit. Right, so here's my bit, and there's their bit. I reckon mine looks more crusty. What do you think? And as you can see, there is lots of different bits of rubbish in here, like lots of all sorts of things, all different coloured stones. There's like a red patch here and then a pale patch there. Like up here, look, you've got red patches and pale patches. So it's very similar. What do you think? I think it looks very good. I think there's a very good chance that this is Bronze Age. And if it ain't Bronze Age, it's not far off Bronze Age. It could be early Bronze Age, middle Bronze Age, or even late Bronze Age. But that will be down to the people at the museum to get their experts and have a good look at it. Here is what my finds liaison officer said about the find. What a cracking find. If Paul thinks it's Bronze Age, now this is Paul Blinkhorn from Time Team fame, I'm not going to say differently. He knows a lot more about pottery than I do. Finding Bronze Age pottery is amazingly rare, so this is a stunning find. Right, let's see what other epic relics I found this month.
Yep. Is it? Is it a bit of a candlestick holder? The candle would gone in there. I don't know. Right. This could be the find of the day. Right, we're going to have to get this cleaned up, methinks. Wow. Oh, there it is, look. I think, well, I'm not sure because that end looks hammered, whether that's slotted into something and it's the top bit of a Georgian candlestick. Or it could be something ancient. You know, it could be something really ancient. I've found Roman in this area before now. Don't know. Can't see any markings on it apart from this bit at the bottom. That racket you can hear in the distance, I think they're doing some work somewhere nearby. Got like sounds like a tank trundling along. Ugh. Yep, it's some sort of a thing. If you know, post below.
So on the Portable Antiquities Scheme website I have found this candlestick. Now Chill Bill pointed out to me that the candlestick might be considerably older than I thought it was. Thanks a lot, Bill. So if we look at this candlestick, it does look quite similar to mine. This is the one I found that's got the best match. And if we look at the date, 1550 to 1750, it's almost 500 years old. Wow. Let's go and have a look at another similar one. See, here's a similar one here, look. And this one dates to 1475, so even older, to 1600. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So if we put them side by side, you can see there's a bit of a top rim there. Mine's got a bit of a flange on the top, and then it's got 3 rings there in the middle, and then it's got a little ring here just before this which slopes off, and then it slopes down to another ring there, and then that bit sticking out, and then that bit, and then it slopes down to another bit, and then it's got the bottom. So this dates to about 1550 to 1600. So, you know, it's a lot older than I thought it was going to be. And, you know, another 200 or 300 years older. Amazing what you find, isn't it? Absolutely amazing.
Oh, yeah, so if you give me a big thumbs up, a big like, get up to 1,000 likes in this video, then I'll do one at the end of next month. Right, hopefully I'll be out metal detecting tomorrow. It's been, weather's a bit iffy today. It's been dryish, but it's very, very windy. And I just can't afford a camera at the moment because I'm spending all my money on this new detector. You know, I'll be skint. I will be desperate to find that hoard of 50,000 gold coins. Cheers!